Welcome everyone to our Thursday video. It is, I believe, towards the end of phase 1 of this shutdown. I'm hoping and praying that we'll get to phase 2 soon, which would mean that we could have daily mass with all of you. We will continue the live streaming because I know so many of you told me that you've enjoyed it so much. So please know that that will continue for the foreseeable future. But for being a parish that's on lockdown, this is a crazy busy weekend. First of all, as you know, we have our school gala, our virtual gala this Saturday night. We've given you the information a few times, but this is kind of the last pitch. Please, everyone, if you can participate, please do. Our school could really use the help. Second, this weekend is John LaDuca, who was supposed to be already ordained as a deacon, but will now be ordained as a deacon next month. We had assigned for him to preach on Pentecost Sunday. This is going to be his first weekend of preaching. So technically he can't preach because he's not ordained yet, but he's going to give a talk that's almost as long as a homily this weekend. But he'll be the preacher, so to speak, because he's prepared and worked so hard on this, and we really thought he was going to be ordained now. So you're going to get to hear his first quote-unquote homily, talk, whatever you want to call it, before his ordination. He's a wonderful man. I think you're all really going to get to enjoy getting to know him better. And then the third thing as well, we're having our Oasis food collection. And we've given you all that information. Kathy and John Foley either are going to drive around your homes to pick up the stuff, or they're going to have you drop it off at their home, whatever you guys want to do. But we thank you as well for that. And I'm sure you're going to knock it out of the park as you did last time. So let me just close my little intro to another really fun thing that we have to offer for you. You'll remember Amy Collins from a few weeks ago. She's a motherhood mentor, a parishioner of ours. Her maiden name is Umland. I think many of you would remember her from growing up here in the parish. She's a wonderful woman and an excellent speaker. And she's talking about something that's really dear to my heart. It's about the need for laughter during these difficult times. And I say that because this week, the homily that I gave on the feast day of St. Philip Neri was to focus on the fact that he's known as the patron saint of laughter. He's the patron saint of Christian mirth. He knew how to have a fun time and laugh, which I think we all need during this very serious kind of lockdown. And then the second reason is today, if you tuned in, not today, sorry, the other day, whenever it was, Wednesday, if you tuned in to my midday Angelus prayer, you would have heard me speak about Pope John the 23rd and what a funny man he was. Obviously very serious, very holy. He's now Saint John the 23rd, but he also knew how to have a good laugh, and I think we could all use it. So Amy does this amazing job. It's about 15 minutes long, but it's divided very neatly in different parts. If you don't have the 15 minutes right now, maybe watch 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, 5 minutes down the road. But it really beautiful, really wonderful, talking about all of the benefits of laughing and smiling, even during really difficult times. So I hope you enjoy it. Amy, thank you very much. And parishioners, we'll see you again at Mass this weekend, and again on Monday when we make our next video, which is a very special one for all the kids in the parish. Very special one that I have ready for them. God bless you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Hello, I'm Amy Collins. I am a motherhood mentor. What that means is that I work with women who want to be the best moms they can be, and they are looking to build a really strong, solid foundation for their motherhood journey. We work together so they build that foundation on authenticity, clear communication, and creativity, and then they use those tools that they've learned with me throughout their lives, because as we know, the motherhood journey lasts forever. And the best part of the work is how it ripple affects and positively impacts their kids. And that's why we do this, because when mothers are more confident and fulfilled and calm and find the motherhood journey more joyful, their kids benefit as well. I am here today specifically to speak to you about a topic that wouldn't often be thought of during a pandemic, but it is important. And the topic is our need to laugh. First of all, I do want to recognize the seriousness of the pandemic, the fact that a lot of people have lost their lives, Our frontline workers are phenomenal. They're brave. They're really doing a wonderful job. So we want to say thank you to them. We want to recognize that we all need to continue to take precautions as well as be proactive in how we're helping other people. So with that in mind, I was here to speak with you about our need to laugh because, again, it's really important to recognize that we were created with our ability to laugh and have a sense of humor. And laughter will positively impact us on 3 different levels. It benefits us socially, physically, and mentally. Phenomenal, right? Research shows laughter, our ability to laugh, affects us on those different levels. And as I often say as a motherhood mentor, it's really important because our kids are always watching. They're always watching, right? So we need to role model for them not only how to take precautions and be proactive in helping other people during this pandemic, but we also need to let them know it's okay and in fact helpful for us to be able to laugh at certain times when it's difficult. I have my notes here in front of me, so I want to stay on task. First, I want to speak about the benefits of laughter. They actually have found through research that one of the main benefits of laughter is that it boosts our immune system, which is just what we need right now. So laughter boosts the immune system by decreasing stress hormones and increasing immune cells and infection-fighting antibodies. Pretty awesome, right? Therefore, when we're laughing, we're resisting disease. Works for me. The second benefit, which I think is just kind of funny because it's not like, the second benefit is that laughter burns calories, and that is true. It will not replace a really good workout at the gym or a bike ride around the neighborhood or something, but at least we know laughing does help us burn some calories, which is always a bonus, right? Secondly, I think I'm on the third. Thirdly, laughter shows goodwill toward others. So it has been researched and shown, and I think this is really interesting, that it's believed that laughter has evolved in humans to express a sense of security and safety with others. So we've actually evolved, and one of the ways we express our sense of safety and security is to be able to laugh. And laughter is one of the most effective tools for keeping relationships alive and fresh. For example, I know I've been married 20 years, and I truly believe that one of the main reasons we're still together is because we've had that ability to laugh with each other, together, even at each other sometimes, at ourselves. So it really is true in how laughter helps us socially keep our relationships fresh and alive. Also, laughter reduces anxiety and depression. Fantastic, right? Especially in needs like this, in times like this of a pandemic. So what they have found is laughter is a potent endorphin releaser. What's an endorphin? It's our own self-made feel-good chemical. So when we laugh, endorphins are released in our brain. Another fantastic reason to laugh, right? Another reason is that laughing helps keep our hearts healthy. And the way this occurs is that when we laugh, they have found that our blood flow is better. Again, that works for me, sounds good. Not only is our heart positively affected when we laugh, but our lungs are also. And that is because when we laugh, oftentimes after we laugh, we kind of have that, that sense of like, after we laugh, right? Well, what is that doing? That's helping us breathe more efficiently and deeper into our lungs. So we get more air and blood flow through our bodies and our lungs. Pretty phenomenal, right? If those aren't great benefits of laughing, I'm not sure what are. Again, those benefits affect us positively physically, mentally, and socially. Next, I want to speak with you about how we can create more laughter in our lives, right? And it is possible to create more laughter in our lives by doing simple things, looking for the silliness in the situation, right? So if we are baking and the flour falls all over the floor and puffs up and creates us to be all powdery and everything, right? We can look for the fact that we look pretty silly, right? This happened to me when my daughters were little. We all ended up with like flour all over our face. We laughed at the fact of how silly we looked, right? So we need to be aware that we have a choice in any situation, and our ability to choose laughter is always there. There's also something interesting that I researched, and it's called laughter yoga. Now, none of the yoga studios are open at this time, but you can go online and actually look up laughter yoga. There are studios in New York and New Jersey that are offering online classes. So this is really good for someone who who lives alone as well, to have a sense of camaraderie through these laughter yoga classes. And I think it's awesome, there's even some classes that are focusing on helping kids laugh, because again, they recognize the fact that these kids are the next generation, and it's important for them to learn all different types of skills. And being able to laugh and see the humor is actually a skill. The next way we can create laughter in our lives is actually by smiling more, because when we smile, we use the beginning muscles that lead into laughing. So smiling is the beginning of laughter. And when we smile a lot, even they say, if you're feeling down, smile in front of a mirror and smile a few times over, and eventually a lot of times you'll start laughing, right? And laughter is contagious. So you'll just crack yourself up. Another way that you can, create more laughter in your life, I have a couple other ways written down here, is when you hear laughter, move towards it. So spend time with people who are fun and playful and have a clever, witty, fun, upbeat sense of humor, right? And also look to bring humor into the conversation. So, that can be through a funny joke. It can be through a silly expression that you make when your kids say something, or when one of your family members, say something. You can just make a funny expression, and that can cause laughter. So, there's lots of different ways to bring laughter into your home, as well as watching a funny movie, right? We have the time. Let's look at some funny, appropriate movies for the family. Read the funny pages. They're still there. In the newspaper, there are still comic strips, and they're pretty funny. So I also, when my girls go to camp, I have a hard time writing just so many letters to them for 4 weeks that I will look up clean, funny jokes online, and I'll write them a couple jokes. And whether they get a kick out of them, or they just laugh on their own, or they share them with their bunk, it's another way to insert laughter. So those are some different ways to create more laughter in your lives. I wanted to also speak to you about how we can actually develop our own sense of humor. Because yes, we can look to consciously develop our own sense of humor. So the first one that I have written down here is we need to be able to laugh at ourselves. And that's really good for us to be able to exemplify for our kids as well. They need to know that it is okay and healthy and helpful for us to laugh at ourselves. Share embarrassing moments with your family, right? And let them know that you don't take yourself too seriously. You can have a really good, solid work ethic, but still be able to laugh at yourself. Attempt to laugh at situations rather than bemoan them. So during this pandemic, with the masks and the gloves and all of this stuff, attempt to look for the absurdity of it. Attempt to look for how silly maybe we all look, the different masks that people are wearing now, and look for the opportunity to laugh instead of complain. Surround yourself with reminders to lighten up. So keep a toy or a silly picture on your desk, something that helps you to remember to laugh, even in the middle of a workday, right? So frame photos of you and your family and your friends having fun, right? Sounds simple, but it really helps when you can take a moment and just look at a photo and think of a silly time, and it helps you smile and lighten up. Remember funny things that happen. right? So if something amusing happens or a silly, like the other day I was pulling the garbage cans out, right? It was paper pickup, and I don't know, some type of small tornado came along and was like whirling the paper around. Well, I could have been really frustrated with the situation and mad and angry. And instead I kind of stood there like, okay, let's wait for this little mini tornado to stop blowing the cardboard all around. And, let's just check it out. Yep, there it goes. Okay, great. Now it's died down. I could go pick it up. And it was helpful for me to be able to laugh in that moment, right? And so then I went inside and I told my family, yeah, I just pulled out all the paper and got caught up in a paper tornado, right? It doesn't have to be something big and silly. It can be a simple 2-minute story that you share that just amuses other people, right? Also, we don't want to dwell on the negative. We all have negative experiences. We all have things that don't go right? It's just part of life. What we need to do is look back on them, learn from them, but don't dwell on it. Don't dwell on it. And lastly, my comment here for you in regards to developing your sense of humor is to be in touch with your inner child. I know that as adults, sometimes it's easy for us to feel like we have to be very serious. And being in touch with our inner child does not mean that we're irresponsible and childish and foolish, but it means that we remember how to look at life through the eyes of a child. And we look at life simply to look at the moments of awe and the simplicity of a spider web or the rain outside or the sun on the trees, right? So we find our inner child and we connect with that. Overall, that's the topic that I wanted to speak with you about today. Notice I started it off by saying our need to laugh because it is important that we laugh. God created us to laugh. So I hope you benefited from learning the benefits of laughter, how to look for laughter in your life and bring more of it into your life, and also how to develop your own sense of humor. On that note, I hope that you have a really great day and that you seek out the opportunity to genuinely laugh. Continue to be courageous, and I will see you again soon.